Family. Excited for our chat today. And welcome all that is here and the viewers for the energy and love and light on Earth. Let's take our energy moment as we begin this beautiful channel of conversation and clear our energy and space and ask that anything that is undesired or that is not ours to leave the space, and creating a beautiful bubble of light around each one of us in our personal channel to love and light in the universe and to the love and energy protection inside of ourselves. And taking a breath, breathing into that space and grounding our roots into the ground, feeling ourselves following those roots, deepening our connection to the earth, to the strength that we have within. Calling in our guides and our support team with love and light from all dimensions and space. Thank you for your support and love. And asking that today we channel in the highest and greatest for all the love of humanity. Thank you. Coming back to the space. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Erin. Hey, where I'd love to start today, a question I get all the time, which is like, where did the family come from? And why did it come? Or why is it coming? Why is it being built? And no better person to ask than you. And maybe you could just share with people from the inception, what was on your heart?
What is this family thing?
What is this thing?
I love that. It's funny because it has become this thing that, a number of people and projects know about. And it's funny because it came together in a small space with a small amount of people. But originally it was this passion that came out of my own healing. When I saw another world, I saw within this world that we all live in that there are so many perceptions of realities. I saw that we could see medicine and education differently, and that those can be combined together ultimately for a greater support of humanity. And it was this I found at the time, I think what showed up as, passion and anger of what is going on. And I was like, we need to unite. It was like humanity, there's so many of us. There's so many of us, and the only way that we're going to support Earth is if we come together. And so at the time, the brewing of the family was this unity of like, we can't just say I'm doing it because I'm doing it. But I can't do it by myself, nor am I supposed to. And it was just this heavy download inside of me that felt like there was something that needed to be supporting the voice of humanity as a whole, no matter where we're at. So it became this voice of, I'm from Earth. And the family became a group of us that felt that. People that I had surrounded myself with that had this view as well in their own ways, that saw a different world or maybe a different way. And there was a lot of pain here and mistrust and anxiety and ways to see through really big obstacles. So yeah, for me, it would just really came from this need that everything needs it: school, education, medicine, no matter what. And Greg, you were such a magic particle that drifted in right in the beginning of this brewing of this is what we needed and gathering people together.
Yes,
and,
I literally walked into a room and like, what is going on here? What do you? There's something brewing, and it's I think one of the things that makes it most fascinating is how it's at the same time it's now, millions of people, and yet it's still a small percentage of humanity that is awake to this. And so, the thing that struck me when I stumbled into the initial group was, what we all shared in common is we'd had the experience of waking up inside ourselves, that internal feeling of I'm something more than just my individual self. I'm connected to something greater. We are all connected in some way, and I can feel that in my body, and it makes me see the world and experience the world completely differently. And it's really, honestly, at least for me, at the beginning was really disorienting, because it took all the things that I believed about how life was and put it on its ear all at once. And so that, as a human is scary, as well as being exciting. And the beautiful thing that I really resonated with the spirit of the family was, we don't want other people to have to wake up alone. We don't want to have them go through this and wonder what's going on. Why is my world so odd? Because we can help. And not only that, but we want to help, because the more the merrier, right? And now, when I grew up in the 1960s, it was like 4% of the population had this awareness, right? And now it's like 12%, but that's still like barely 1 in 10. So when you're having an experience and 9 people out of 10 that you stop on the street, if you explained it to them, they'd think you were nuts. That's still really hard. And so it's great to find those others that when you say that, they go, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was weird. Or,
right.
Yeah. So I think it's just a beautiful vision to help the world as the world wakes up, to make that awakening both a little more gentle, and also to help light a fire under what needs to have a fire lit under it, to accelerate the ascension and making it better for more quickly. And that's again, that's to me, the name, it's a different kind of family, but it's what a family does. We support each other, we help each other, we learn from each other, and we share this experience, and we create it together. And that's why I've been hanging around.
I love that. Yeah. And it's knowing that inside of us that, yes, there's going to be barriers. Yes, there's going to be times that come up to that, but together we are stronger. And when we walk through those moments is when we're even stronger. And that's the beautiful thing, is that we're here, we are 10 years later. And the interesting thing about this beautiful conversation is that the family, actually, a little history was that it still is a platform, Periscope, and it is a video platform, or no, it was video. Yeah, it was video live stream. And it's a lot like all the video that's on Facebook and Instagram now. But at the time, they didn't have the video on there. So we were live streaming on Periscope. And that was what started, because we were live pretty much every night at 9. Someone from the family was live. And so here we are, bringing that beautiful energy full circle. But I wanted to hit on what Greg, what you were saying about this reality that comes into us that basically rips us out of everything we've ever known or comprehended. Because it's like, wait a minute, all I knew was Western medicine to go and heal me. Not that I hadn't heard of other things, but the way I was raised, that's where you go. And so, and that's not a bad thing. It's just not what was normal per se. However, it's so different. So to have others around that comprehend, oh my gosh, I relate to seeing now the education system that I went through. If I would have had this class, that ability, these open opportunities, what type of person I would be today, to see the way that it's going now. There's just no way to go back. And so, yeah, that's what the family is. It's a place for us to all feel safe. Or I like to say a family tree, because it's a mirror image of the forest. And the forest is a beautiful ecosystem, and there's so many different species interconnected and intertwined all over the earth, that talk to one another and feed each other sugar or let each other know there's a fire coming.
It's this ecosystem, right? Mm-hmm. It's this giant network of stuff that's all growing and evolving and coming online and changing and shifting, and it's all interrelated. And it's hard to describe how it's different if someone isn't at the point in their evolution where that awareness of the connection to that hasn't come online yet, because it's not supposed to be for everybody all at the beginning. Which is kind of when I think back to the 60s and 70s, the way it was presented in society was, this new world is coming, and we're all going to, sit in the fields and sing Kumbaya and all love each other. And it's going to be beautiful, man.
Right.
Which is awesome as a vision. And that felt really good. And that drew a lot of people toward, coming together. But what's sort of sunk into me as I've gone through my adult life is, maybe it's not like an on switch where suddenly the world is different. This is really, it's just an accelerated period of evolution. And part of that evolution is really getting what life is like when the knowing and the experience of that I'm not only an individual. When I look in the mirror and I see the guy there and I know who he is, maybe, but I identify with me, right? And to really get, I am simultaneously that individuated guy, and I am literally part of everything, all of the oneness. There is a part of me that is a part of that. And it's not like a small little corner. That's fully as important to the expression of, for me, for Greg, as my Gregness. Right. And when I think that, before I realized that, I just wasn't aware of that part of that huge part of me. And it changes, it literally changes everything, because you look at things differently, you receive things differently, you experience things differently. And a lot of people, again, we have things in society, like this sense of being connected to something greater than ourselves is like this, the foundation of all the world's religions. It's the foundations of why humans, cluster together in groups to do stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that's, but getting that as an idea, hey, we're all one, hey, brother, hey, sister, as an idea is so completely different than when you really feel it in your body, where you go, oh, I can now relate and identify with the part of me that's part of the all. And that flame is just, it's the catalyst for all the things that need to happen.
Yeah.
So
that's beautifully said. It's like base, and what that energy is that you're speaking of is a big part of, I believe, and hopefully you'll energetically agree, is acceptance.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And a big part of that is, again, if I go back, I remember when I was a teenager and I always want, I want to sleep all the time. And my parents would come in on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock and say, get out of the rack, come on.
Right.
And I needed to be asleep because my body needed that much sleep. Right. And so I remember how grumpy I was when someone was trying to wake me up before I was ready.
Right.
Right. And from within the group of people that are already aware of this and have it, drive in their lives, there's a natural impatience and desire of like, oh, I want the whole world to be awake. I want the whole world to feel this. I want the whole world to be a part of this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And to realize waking someone up before they're ready is cruel. And they're going to react like someone who's not ready to wake up because it's not their time, because it's a natural part of all the evolution of consciousness. And until you're at a vibration where you sense the things that wake you up, you're not there. And that's not a good or a bad or a right or a wrong. It's like, that's where you are. And everybody will wake up in their way, in their time. And again, the philosophy of the family is, well, when you do wake up, there's a place where you can go. There's a clubhouse where you can hang out, where people will be able to relate to your experience and want to help you out and, help you, grow your skills and grow your consciousness and grow your capabilities and find people who need what you offer, and find people who can bring you things you need. And that's just a beautiful energy to share.
That's it. And that's the beautifully put. And that's exactly what a root system does. And that's the ability of humanity as a whole, is to, as we combine and understand and accept that we all are very different, even though we tend to, as vibrational beings, to vibrate towards like beings, which creates that mirror image of our own creativity, which in a world of that duality, without that acceptance and that understanding of the whole as I am, the competition word comes in. And it becomes that, something takes away from me because we are connected to it. And that move to it can't be taken away from is the example that the family strives to be, that we strive to support a place to feel safe and to be an example of what unity is. So for those that may be feeling some of those thoughts, feelings, whatever might be coming up, that we can be a place to feel safe for bridging that over. And maybe someone isn't quite there in moving into whatever understanding it is, but then they see, well, I want to be able to collaborate. And we're here for that. We can move and support whoever's ready to be. We're accepting. And hopefully, as we grow, we'll be able to have a spot for wherever you're at. No one's in or out. We're not separate from anything. We're not religion is just as important as non-religion and other cultures and the way we all see it. I think that's also the idea of unity. And I'm excited to see how all of this love and unity comes together, and the alumni family that comes crawling into this conversation, and all the others that, that we have surrounding this beautiful family as we all grow on this mission. But yeah, to see how far we have grown and to be here now still with the family and the idea, and nothing's changed. It's really been the same idea this entire time.